It's one of those, the mods I like to have running. That's one of them. And I found it terribly useful when I'm, as I said, when I'm streaming. It's just good to know when and where things need to be happening. Okay, I don't think we're going to need a lot of lime on this field. We'll use the same settings. And off we go. Oops. Press that and fold that down, and he should just get going. Yeah, this is my early morning. Nobody else is in the house is up for 3 or 4 hours, so I can just sit around and play Farm Sim. And this is my sit back, relax, enjoy playing Farm Sim, and share the experience and talk about Farm Sim stuff if people want to, or anything else really. I forget where I'd gotten up to in my discussion of life. As I said, we're going to a wedding this afternoon, so I need to, midday, have lunch, have a shower, and get ready for that. Oh, we got the car fixed. $2,000. Good grief. Needed to replace the entirety of the rear discs, or braking. So the rotors, discs if you're UK, the pads, complete replacement of the brake fluid. The cables for the parking brake, handbrake, had broken. So they got some new ones of those, and then discovered, well, actually the clamps at the back were also completely shot. Not surprising, they're probably open to the elements and Michigan weather and salt on the roads and stuff. And the car's 15 years old, 16 years old. So that needed replacing as well. Didn't need an oil change. We got the oil change done before winter break, and we've got 2 vehicles. We don't do a lot of driving during winter, especially not with the snowstorms that happened this year. So we put 1 vehicle in the garage, and since we had kids around at the time, we needed 5 seats, so we kept the minivan out. Although we don't need that 100% of the time. Now that we are empty nesters, we do not need the minivan 100%. We need a car mostly on weekends for the kids that visit. We're former foster parents, so kids visit at the weekends are some of our former foster kids. In a normal family, we'd be kind of like grandma. Kids come and visit for the weekend, get candy, get fed, go home. But obviously if we go out, we need enough room for them, and we had a teenager in the house prior to last weekend, so 5-seat vehicle with legroom. Our car doesn't necessarily have great legroom. And it's not much cheaper to run than the minivan because it uses premium gas, which is horribly expensive. When I first moved out to America, premium gas was about 10 to 20% more expensive than regular per gallon. It's now over $1 more expensive. and the price of a gallon has doubled. So the price of premium has effectively tripled, which I'm not impressed with. What's really annoying, I upgraded my PC, the gaming PC, last October, November time. We went down to the Micro Center, which is a huge computer superstore, and has some very good deals. And it's about an hour's drive away, so an hour there, hour back. And they had a Sam's Club there. Their Sam's Club was selling premium gas at, I think, 50 cents over the regular price. My local at the time was selling it at $1.50 more. And there's some shenanigans going on. Anyway, I do like using the car when I can, especially since it's more economical than the van. And it's more fun than the van, because it's a sports sedan. Anyway, let's get this thing turned around and... Okay, the Deutz has used 15% so far. Where is it? Oh, still up the top. Okay. Well, yeah, sit back, relax. We are doing this right now. Now, obviously, once the Deutz has finished spreading lime on that field, I've got one more field, but I can probably get the slurry spreader out on that field, or the manure spreader on this one. What other things are we doing? We want to get out of September into October. Then those bales will be ready. Well, those bales might be ready now. I did notice that there is a little bit of a time differential with fermenting bales. They're supposed to take 1 month. We're taking 4-day months. So it should take 4 days, but it seems that they are fermenting a little bit quicker than would be expected. You'd expect it 25% a day. So normally I'm used to, if I cut the grass and baled it and I finished baling it by midday, then the last of my bales would be fermented by 1 month and midday. If I didn't finish till 4 o'clock, then it would be 1 month time at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So you have to either sell the bales really late in the day or wait till the next day of the month to sell them. But I don't know. It seems to be different. We'll check when we take this back to the shop. This is the only field I am ploughing today. We will have to plough the old sugar beet fields. But that's not a big hurry right now. Okay, let's cruise control on. And we should be able to drop that now. All right. Yeah, sadly, this piece of kit, not the one. Well, it's a good width considering. I mean, we're running 400 odd horsepower on this thing. Where's our subsoilers? 435, and our Magnum is 435. Okay, just capable. The Zerian not even in the same zip code. But that's fine. This is my heavy field tractor, so all of the heavy work is done by this one. But some things like what else have we got? We got the cultivator. It's 375, so that's a lot lower. That I think the Zerian can handle. And then we've got the plow is 180. Anything can handle that. The seeder is 300, and the planter is also 300. So the Zerian can help out with the heavy work, but if I have to plow a field, it has to be done by this tractor. So that's why we're running this one right now. I do like the Zerian. I really only bought it to haul stuff, haul the grain cart, but and it's very good for that. It's got 4-wheel steering, so it is quite agile, which can make delivering stuff to vendors or production facilities is easier in that than it is in a standard tractor. I think I might do alternate rows at this point. It's just easier. All right. And because we're running GPS, yeah, we're very accurately leaving exactly a row width between each successive row. So that said, well, I guess we're going to run down. We're going to do the end, and then we'll come back on that row and do this end, and then do the headlands, which I'm going to have to do manually because GPS ain't that smart. Now, that said, Farm Sim 25, the guidance steering there, you set up the track and you and the workers follow exactly the same track. So if I got to this point, oh, I need to go and take care of something, I can pull a worker in and he'll carry on doing exactly what I'm doing, following the track, so long as I'm following what the worker expects me to do. And I can come back and take over from the worker, and no big deal. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, really? Hello. Report. Spam. Yes. Yes. Next. Yes. Submit, restore, block. Bye bye. Thank you for playing. Now I need to get back to the tractor before we crash. I'm not sure that desktop audio plays when I'm doing that. But you do still see the picture because I'm watching. I have the mod view on so I can watch what everybody else is seeing, and when the signal strength drops, I am aware that things are getting bad. Except when I don't pay any attention. Like, I think a couple of weeks ago, our ISP, oops, I forgot to lift that, had serious issues providing us with internet service, and we dropped, oops, about 5 times during the stream, and then I just called it early because it was too frustrating. Okay, so not sure how this this alternate row thing is going to end up working out for us. Whoops. A little bit of a wiggle there. That might not be ideal. Too many trees. Too many clouds. Good grief. I'm also playing with, I think it's realistic dust and realistic exhaust. So the exhausts are a little bit blacker when a tractor's working under load, and for equipment that is ripping up dirt, we also get clouds of dust thrown up behind them for obvious reasons. Unfortunately, it doesn't take into account things like moisture, so yeah, if you're churning up mud, there wouldn't be quite so much dust. And I do have the dust turned up, because why not? It makes things look good. Find the tree and click on that. Probably about there. Yeah, that's good enough. I think we'll call this much good enough. We'll start working our way back up towards the north end of the field. So drop that and hopefully not miss any bits. Go back and get the mist road to our right, and then we'll finish up going up the field. That's the thing. If you're using the idea of I'm going to do alternate rows, when you get to one end of the field, it's easier to do this where you don't have to do crazy manoeuvring at the end and backwards and forwardsing to get the implement where it needs to be. You can just turn in on the row you want and drive into it. So do 3, come back, do the one you missed, and then everything is back to alternate rows again. What I'm not sure is, do I have an even or odd number? Because what I want to do, 1, 2, 3, go that way, come back, and then go all the way down the field. That's worked out quite nicely. All right. So I'm trying to think what else is going on. There's not a lot else going on. There's building model railway slowed down a bit. As I said, I've ordered some radius assistance. They're basically precision bent sticks, which a guy laser cuts in Canada. So I bought a couple a few weeks ago for what is supposed to be out my steepest radius curves. Decided to buy another set of both, so I can lay, because those run at least 90 degrees, whereas everywhere else I've got very shallow sweeping curves, but the radius changes and the direction changes. So they'll sweep right, then they'll sweep left at a slightly different radius, and then they'll change into a shallower radius right, and then a steeper radius right, and then back to the left. And so I don't need the other 3 radii. You buy them in 20-inch lengths, two 10s effectively, and so I don't need that many of the shallower turns. But once those are here, I can actually start drawing on the board where the track needs to be, and plotting out where the switches are going to be and everything else. And at that point I can start. I've already got the glue to glue down the track. I've already got the paint to paint the baseboard. I do need to bring the track upstairs and paint it, and solder some wires to the bottom of it. But that might be the task for this week. Now that Teenage Osa moved out, we do have a spare desk that can be used for projects in the office, as opposed to sitting. I forgot to do it again. So Teenage Osa had the habit of picking things up and moving them around and making claims on stuff that wasn't hers. So we had a thermometer and a clock in the basement. Now, she didn't run off with the clock, so I've managed to put the clock back on the wall. Unfortunately, we had water softener, whole house water softener added in the basement, and the clock had to be moved. So I've eventually gotten down to moving the clock. But the thermometer, it used to be in the basement, and it went missing for 2 years, and turns out Teenage Osa had it in her box of stuff. So laying claim to that, but I forgot to take it down to the basement. So, and I went down to the basement this morning, so that's kind of I could have done that at the same time as taking the rest of the stuff down. But that's okay. I can still do it later. Might do it after the stream if I remember. And I'm not too hungry. What is the time? Coming up on 10. So yes, but then I'll start bringing boxes of track up to paint. I think I've got the paints I need, but it's been a while since I checked through my stash. That's the other thing. I've got a whole desk drawer of stuff in my desk that I don't really want there, but kind of the only way to make sure I know where it is, because if I put it anywhere else, it goes missing. It's like the bag of grapes that was in the fridge that I bought 3 weeks ago. Disappeared. I assumed they'd been eaten because there wasn't any left. No, they were hidden at the back behind everything else in the fridge. Don't know why. Some other things as well. It's just annoying as all get out was if you do use something, then put it back where you found it, not just stick it somewhere, because nobody else knows where to look for it now. The other habit she had was you buy something from the store, if you've got some already, put the used empty stuff at the front and put the new stuff with it at the back, behind it. No. We'll either put the new stuff somewhere completely different, or we'll put the new stuff in front of the old stuff. And the biggest problem is putting the new stuff somewhere where the rest of the stuff isn't. So you'd be looking in the pantry location where salad cream and peanut butter was, and come across a tin of tomato soup. You sort of know tomato soup goes on that side with all the rest of the soups, and there is room there. But it's also how we knew that, she was stealing electronic equipment or what have you, because there was one time she took my cell phone, and I got up in the morning and sort of, my cell phone's not where it's supposed to be. And so waited until inevitably I get a text or something like that. My phone will beep. Oh, it's in my desk drawer. I never put my phone in my desk drawer, but she took it. She was talking to her birth family, and then she just put it back somewhere in the vicinity of where